Today in writing, I am introducing narrative writing. That means true. This week we will be working on starting a true story. You have probably read true stories before. Can you think of any? We are going to be using a checklist so we know what makes great true story sentences. I'm going to read the checklist to you. Number 1, sentences use words such as I and me. That's because we are writing about a true story that is going to have us in it. So we're going to use I and me because we're talking about us. 2, events are told in an order that makes sense. That means that we are going to want to use words like first and next, last, because when we're telling a story, we want our reader to better understand the story because we're going to tell it in order. 3, details and adjectives. Your reader pictures what you are telling about. Help your reader picture what you are telling about. Mrs. Simmons left a word out. Details and adjectives help your reader picture what you are telling about. Do you remember that an adjective is a describing word? It is how we describe a noun. So maybe like a soft or green, squishy. And number 4, interesting words show how you feel. So I'm going to show you an example of a short paragraph where someone has written about something true that happened to them. This short paragraph has examples from our writer's checklist. This is not a story. After you are done watching the video, write several sentences about a time someone gave you something special. It does not have to be long, but see if you can include a couple details, an interesting word, and make sure to tell the events in order. So here is the example, and I bet you maybe saw something like this in first grade from your first grade teacher. So here's the writing model, and there are 2 different paragraphs. Our first paragraph has the examples already pointed out for us. And I'm going to read it to you. It says, yesterday was my birthday. I turned 7. First, I had pancakes for my breakfast. Next, my friends came over for a party. We swung at a piñata. Then we ate cake. Last, I opened my presents. My friend Tanya gave me a big toy dog. I adore it. So this was the first paragraph right here. We have a little number 1 by it. And you can see 3 little boxes off to the side. Events, details and adjectives, interesting words. These were 3 things I just talked about from our writer's checklist. So events, that means that the writer talked or used words like first, next, last. They told their little short paragraph story right here in order. But we know that this is not a full story because of how short it is, right? You could call it maybe a short one, but we know that there are not enough details and expanded information. This would not fill up a nice picture book. Details and adjectives. So we want to know, are we told a little bit of extra information in a sentence? Next, my friend came over for a party. We swung at a piñata. So that's a detail right there because it told what they did at the party. Then we ate cake. That also tells what they did. Last, I opened my presents. My friend Tanya gave me a big toy dog. So the word big right here would be the adjective because it's describing the toy dog. So you could describe the toy dog. Is the toy dog big? Is the toy dog small? So they use the word big. And last, interesting word. They chose adore. I adore it. It's another way to say I like it. You can use the word like, but you can make it a little more interesting by saying I adore it. And then right down here we have a second paragraph. This is a time to take a minute. Do you spot words that tell the events? Do you spot any details and adjectives? Do you spot an interesting word? An event might be one day, or first, then. Adjectives: soft, furry, black, cute. And when you're using details, it moved and made noises. That's describing a little bit something extra about the actions. So right now, you can write several sentences about a time someone gave you something special. It doesn't have to be long, but see if you can include a couple details, an interesting word, and make sure to tell the events in order.